Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our spiritual discussion for tonight. The Ark of Safety is within. So I'm super excited about our discussion for tonight. Now remember, this is a discussion, so that means it's between you and me and our other participants who choose to join us. And yes, I'll be talking, but if anything that I say brings up a question, brings up a concern, then you are more than welcome to go ahead and ask the question instead of just keeping it to yourself, because we have to remember that it's so important that we ask those questions. So I'm going to start to share this out. I invite you guys to do the same if you so desire. And then we will begin. And I want to thank everyone for coming in and joining right now. Hello, and welcome. So hi, Tanya. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Sandy. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. All right, I'm just scrolling on down so I can share this out to my groups and my different pages, so that way everyone can join in our beautiful discussion for tonight about the Ark of Safety. Bonjour, comment ça va? I haven't seen you in forever, Miss Amour. So, a bonjour to you. All right, so I am just sharing this out. Well, hello from the UK. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. Hello, Miss Sheila. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. All right, like I said, I'm just sharing this out to my groups, and if you guys want to join in that sharing, you're more than welcome to. So tonight, like I said, this is a spiritual discussion, so we will be discussing. We'll be talking. So remember, yes, I'm going to be talking. Yes, I'm going to be giving, different tools, techniques, and different things for you. But if those things bring up questions, if you have comments or concerns about our topic, not for readings, I want to make that very clear, but just for this topic that we are discussing, then please feel free to ask those questions. And like I said, I'm sharing this out to my groups, and if you guys want to do the same, you are more than welcome to. So I also want to do for tonight, I want to do some tapping. For those of you who are not familiar with tapping, tapping is emotional freedom technique. And it is basically where we tap on the meridians of the body as we are saying different words to help us in releasing some of the emotional tension that we have all been under. And let's be honest, guys, we have all been under some emotional tension. So we could all use some wonderful tapping to help us to release that and help us come back into that state of peace. And so we will definitely be doing that as well. And you guys don't have to know how to do it. All you have to do is follow along with me on the screen. You can either say the words that I say out loud, or you can say them in your mind. It doesn't really matter, as long as you just kind of do the tapping and do the exercise with us. That is what is really, really important. So like I said, I'm just sharing this out to just a few more groups here, and then we will begin our beautiful discussion for this evening. So where that Ark of Truth is. So why I share this out to one more group, I want to go ahead and put it out there for all of you for this Ark of Safety. It is within, but where is it within? Is it within your mind? Is it within your spirit? Is it within your heart? Is it within your body? Where do you think that Ark of Truth is? All right, Sheila, I look forward to seeing you back here in just a minute or so. All right. So we're going to share to you this one as well. So you guys can go ahead and post in the comments, where do you believe that Ark of Safety is? Where do you think it is for you? Do you think it's in your mind? Do you think it's in your spirit? Do you think it's in your body? And there's no right or wrong answer. This is merely just to open us up to see the different perspectives that we have. I'll give you my perspective. My perspective, of course, is that the Ark of Safety is always in our minds. And I don't mean the brain. I don't mean the thing up here. I mean in the mind, and that universal truth. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. So that is where the Ark for me is. The Ark of Safety is in our divine mind. And that is where that safety is. And I read a beautiful line from A Course in Miracles. And for those of you that don't know what A Course in Miracles is, it is a set of channeled text said to be channeled by Jesus. And it comes in 3 different books, if you will. Book 1 is the text. That's just kind of the metaphysical understanding of the Course. Then there is the crux of the Course, which is the 365 days of lessons. Then there is the manual for teachers. And then there are also supplementary items like the Song of Prayer and all those wonderful things. And if you guys, want to know more about the Course in Miracles, feel free to go check out my ACIM support group where I read a lesson every day and then we talk about it at night. And you guys are welcome to go over there. So what I wanted to read to you is literally one of the just most fabulous things I've ever read. And it actually comes from chapter 29, Closing the Gap. And this is the first sentence of the first line. Hi, Heather. Thanks for joining. Hello, Jess. Thanks for joining. It is, there is no time, no place, no state where spirit is absent. So that means even during this tumultuous time, which we know that it is, spirit is here. And we are for those of you who are seeing that, maybe you're seeing the dolphins in Italy. Maybe you are seeing that, China's pollution has gone down. Those are spirit's perceptions. That's how spirit kind of will help you to see the love, will help you to see the blessing, the silver lining. Now, the other thing I want to say is this is not something spirit did. Okay, and I know a lot of people may find that kind of like, oh yeah, spirit did this. This is how we're getting back to community and getting back to family and getting that opportunity to go within. But we have to remember that this is really, if we look at it from A Course in Miracles perspective, this is our own ego trying really, really desperately to get our attention, to get back into fear, to believe in separation, lack, scarcity, sickness, illness, and thank goodness, as the Course in Miracles tells us, whatever the ego makes, the spirit, or what the Course calls the Holy Spirit, can use. And that is what is so wonderful about this, is that yes, we're quarantined, yes, we can't go out as much and so forth and so on, but spirit is showing us how we can use it to our benefit. Because there's another beautiful line in A Course in Miracles that I love to use when I see things starting to kind of crumble, when I start going into fear. And I always ask, and I say this, Spirit, please do not let me use this for my destruction, but instead for the coming of my peace. Bam. And what have I done right there? I have basically said, okay, right now I'm going into fear. I see I'm going into fear, but I want spirit to use this. Okay, I want spirit to use this for the coming of my peace instead of what the ego is going to use it for, which is my destruction. That's what the ego always, always wants to do. It wants to use it, whatever situation, it wants to use it for our destruction. That's it. Plain simple, right? And so that's one thing that you can begin to do. Let's say you're going into fear. And I totally 100% understand that, there are financial fears. I understand that there are fears that, you're not going to have enough food, but we have to question. This is, the key here is we have to question our belief, because here's what we're not doing. We're not questioning our belief. We're just accepting it. We're just letting it kind of float by. Be like, well, there's not going to be any bread. Oh, well. There's not going to be, I'm not going to be provided for. Oh, well. We have to immediately, instead of letting those fears, or instead of letting those thoughts, those fearful thoughts, kind of just float past our mind, every time you let one of those fearful thoughts kind of float past your mind, what you're actually doing is you're kind of saying, you know what? Okay, I accept that. Why would we want to accept that? Why? Well, because we're so used to just being like, well, yeah, I thought it. I don't know if it's a Buddhist saying, I don't know who said it, but you don't have to believe everything you think. And that's where the questioning comes in. We question that belief. Okay, well, why am I believing that? Am I believing it because what I'm seeing is telling me that? And if so, well, I have to realize something, that what I see, okay, what I see with my eyes, it's only reporting back what I believe. That's all that's happening. So that actually is such a huge blessing. You're like, okay, so I'm seeing that there's no milk. I'm seeing that there's no eggs. I'm seeing that, there's no money. I'm seeing that. Okay, whoa, let me step back. First, let me invite spirit into this. And if you want to use, the words that I used, you can. Or if you want to use other words, totally fine. But the words that I like to use when I start going into fear, when I start seeing myself going there, is spirit, don't let me use this for my destruction, but instead use it for the coming of my peace. Okay, so now I've invited spirit's perception. Now what I need to do is I need to go ahead and I need to start questioning this. Okay, so what am I seeing? What are my eyes reporting back what I believe? Well, right now they're reporting back that I believe in lack. Okay, so now we see what we're believing. So now we have an opportunity. And that's what we always have. We always have this opportunity for growth. So we can go ahead and we forgive ourselves. And it's so simple. It's not anything complex. It takes you maybe less than a minute. You could just simply say, you know what? And once again, my words, if the word God upsets you or you don't like that word, that's okay. You can use whatever you want for your higher power. But you can just say, my higher power did not create lack, therefore it is not real. I ask to see the truth instead of my dream of lack. So we're asking to see the truth. Then you can go ahead and tell yourself the truth. The truth is that you are connected to the all that is. You are connected to the source of all that is. Okay? You are whole, pure, perfect, protected, and provided for in all ways, free to forgive and free to save the world. And then you can ask, Spirit, will you please heal the part of my mind that still believes in lack? Will you please do that for me? And guess what? It'll do it for you. Now, it's not just going to, oh, there you go, we're not going to see lack anymore. Can it happen that way? Oh, 100%. 100% it can. However, we also have to look at, well, do I really want to focus on the problem or do I want to focus on the solution? Which one do I truly want here? Do I want the solution or do I want to focus more on the problem? Do I want to focus on the fact that I do not have and the fact that everything is, all of that? Or do I want to focus instead on, what? I am provided for. And I want to give you all just a brief story just from my life. I'm going through the quarantine and the shortages and all that just like all of you are. However, I'm in a different mindset. So today we needed some butter and we did not have any butter. So my mom suggested that we go over to Meijer. And I said, well, I think we should instead go to Kroger. She's like, no, we need to go to Meijer's. I said, okay. So we got in the car, and before we even got there, you know what I did? I took a deep breath before we even went inside, and I said, Spirit, I set my goal as peace, another wonderful tool that you can use. Before you do anything, Spirit, my goal is peace. Take that breath. So that's what I did. I said, Spirit, my goal is peace. Please use me, move me in all ways today as I go into this store. That's it. And then I walked in. Now, we're not Meijer's shoppers. We don't go there a gajillion times a day. So I wasn't quite sure where we would find, the butter. And so I'm just kind of walking, and all of a sudden, I just kind of start loitering off to the side, like going down an aisle. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, we go down the aisle and I'm in the jelly and I'm like, we didn't need this. Swear to you, bam, my sister calls. Oh my gosh, can you guys get some jelly while you're there? Oh, well, sure. We're right here in the jelly aisle, so grab the jelly. Awesome. So then, we start walking around and my mom's like, oh, it's over here. And once again, I'm just meandering, starting to go this way over towards the frozen food section. I'm like, this is weird. And I'm like, well, I'm going to head over here. My mom's like, okay, I'm going to go over here and get the butter. I said, okay. So she walks over there, and I'm walking over to, the frozen food section, just going where I'm guided to, going what feels peaceful and compelling. Another way you know what's peaceful and compelling. Has to be both of them. Can't just be one or the other. Has to be both. And so I start walking, and what do you know? I walk into the freezer section, and there's just the type of butter that we get, country crock, calcium rich, and there it is. It's just chilling there in the frozen food section where normally you find like the frozen meals. And I was like, I'm gonna take it. My mom comes around the corner. She's like, they're out of butter. They have no butter. And I said, well, don't worry, because look. She's like, where did you find it? I was like, it was right here. It was crazy. But you see, I was provided for. Number one, I was provided for with something with the jelly that I didn't even know that I really needed. And then I was provided with the butter that I did need. So I was provided for. Why? It's not because I'm special. It's not because I talk to spirit, because all of you can talk to spirit just like I can. I got it because I set my goal as peace. I didn't set my goal as I have to get the butter. I have to get this. It was my goal is peace. If I get the butter, great. If I don't, okay. Like it's not gonna kill me. I get the butter, wonderful. I don't get the butter, that's okay. But that is another wonderful way. When you set your goal as peace, you're not setting your goal to get what you want. You're setting your goal and saying, you know what? I want a peaceful outcome. That's what I want. If I get the item, great. If I don't, it's not going to kill me. Okay? And that's really where we want to be with that. I set the goal as peace, not as getting what I want, not as making sure that, I have a short line while everyone else has to wait in millions of lines. No. My goal is peace. That's it. End of story. And so, we have to ask for it. Ask for that peace. And then also be in the present moment. I was just there. I was in the store. We'll see what happens. Like, just be present. Just be there. And I know, I totally understand that in this time, we want to go out there and we just want to grab because we're in fear. And I understand that. But we have to remember that when we want to grab, we are reacting, not responding. What we're actually doing is we are trying to project into the future of saying, I will need this, I will need that, instead of being present in the moment. Because guess what? If you're present in the moment, just like I didn't know I needed the jelly, but God said you need the jelly, that's why you're going down this aisle. Bam, got the jelly. Oh, you need butter? It's okay, don't worry. It's not going to be in the normal section. You're going to find it over here. Bam, got it. Why? Because I was present in the moment, not because I was thinking about, oh my God, there's so many people here. There's craziness. No, present in that moment. So like I said, that arc of safety, it's in your mind. That's where we have to really do the work, is in our minds, because there's gonna be fear. There is fear. I know I've gone into fear. I've done it, but instead of staying in that fear and instead of reacting from that fear, I know that first I gotta get back into that arc of safety. All right, well, how do I get back into that arc of safety? Well, first, let me question my fear. Let me question this, okay? Number one, if I question my fear, where am I seeing, I'm gonna be seeing, well, usually with fear, you're seeing the power outside of you. Like, that's what you're seeing. When fear comes up, it's usually because you're seeing or believing that the power to do anything or the power, is in someone else's hands, which makes you afraid. So first, I have to question. All right, so let me question this fear. Where is it coming from? Then from there, after I question that fear, then I have the opportunity to forgive myself. I have the opportunity to invite peace, and I have the opportunity to come back to the present moment. That's it. And it can take less than a minute. to do this, but it just takes, you got to do it. And it has to be consistently doing it. So that is what I really want to invite everyone to do, because like I read to you, the very first thing I read from chapter 29, which was, what was that chapter called? Oh, Closing the Gap. It was section 1, and it was sentence number 1. There is no time, no place, no state where God, or whatever you want to call your higher power, is absent. The divine is always there. It's always supporting us, even in these fearful times, because what is fear? And there's that wonderful acronym, and I know all of you have probably heard it, false evidence appearing real. We have to question that evidence. We got to question it right then, right there. We can't just allow these little fearful thoughts to kind of cross our minds. God's not asking you, Spirit's not asking you to have perfect thoughts. What it is asking you to do, however, is be vigilant and say, am I going to allow this? No, I don't think so. I don't think I want to allow this anymore. So we question it. We forgive ourselves. We invite peace. We come back to the present moment, and we do what is peaceful and compelling in front of us. That's it. Because there's another beautiful line from A Course in Miracles, and it's actually the very first line. And it says, nothing, well, it's not the first line, but it is the crux of the Course. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. You're real. Love's real. Fear isn't. Fear is not real. Fear is something that we have authored, that we have made. And here's the key word, made. Didn't create. Because there's a big difference in making something and creating something. Making something is basically like you can make a vase. You can make a vase. But you can also unmake it by squishing the clay. Now, to create something means, from A Course in Miracles perspective, that you make it in the image and likeness of yourself, which means eternal. You are eternal. Fear isn't eternal. Fear comes, fear goes. That's it. Now, it may seem like love comes and love goes, but love is the only thing that's real. Love is the only thing that will ever be a constant. Fear is like the waves of the ocean. It comes, it goes. Sometimes it goes for a long time. Sometimes it seems to come in every 2 seconds. It just kind of depends. But we question it. That's how we get back into that ark of safety, by realizing that the divine is never outside of us. The power is never outside of us. That the divine is always there supporting us. But we have to ask. Another beautiful line from A Course in Miracles is, we don't ask too much. We ask far too little. We ask far too little. We don't ask for enough help. We always think that we have to solve everything ourselves. That's our biggest problem, is we think we have to solve everything by ourselves. God's not going to help you. Spirit's not going to help you. Well, it's not going to help you, number one, if you don't believe it's going to. And number two, it's always going to help you if you're willing to let go of your agenda of what you believe the help you need is. Another big issue that we have. God, I need $1 million. And, maybe you want to have a lot of friends and you believe that money is going to bring you those friends. Money's not going to bring you those friends. Money's just going to bring you more problems. Think about it for just a minute. So, I'm so sorry you can't hear me, Sherry. So let's think about this for just a moment, that, you go to the store, or you want to make all these friends, and you win this $1 million, right? You win it. You're super excited. You're super happy. You're like, yes! And then you start having more people want to come hang out with you and be with you. However, then, are those people really being your friend because they want to be your friend, or are they being your friend because you have money? So now you're not quite sure. So instead of, once again, going out there and making more friends, you actually decide to become more reclusive because the money itself actually caused more of a problem than it solved. Now, the divine plan may have been that you go to the marina and you make friends because they all like boating. I don't know what that divine plan may be, but there's always a divine plan, and then there's our plan. We got to let go of our plan, and we got to let the divine plan in. And in letting the divine plan in, that means that we have to question. So the ark of safety is in your mind. The ark of safety is in remembering the truth of who you truly are. And any time that we start seeing ourselves as separate or less than, we got to stop. We got to question. And I will tell you, I had a reading with Sonia Choquette. Absolutely beautiful reading. Just beautiful. It was a fabulous gift I received. And she told me, do not question your competency. Question your confidence. I have literally used that ever since I heard that. Ever since she's told me that, I was like, oh my God, true story. So I started questioning my confidence, not my competency. Because if the divine has told me to do something or to say something, then I'm going to do it. But I had to remember that. I had to say, okay, if I'm going into fear, why am I going into fear here? Am I going into fear because I'm questioning my confidence, or because I'm questioning my competency? Questioning what spirit has told me to do. So that is that. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. And now I want to open it up to questions, comments, and concerns as I get a drink of water. So any questions, comments, or concerns that you have about our current topic, the current things that we have been talking about, if you have those questions, you are more than welcome to ask them. And if not, totally fine. But this is what I just really wanted to, this is what Spirit has told me to share. It's to help us get out of fear and come back into love, is to remind us that the ark of safety lies within our minds. And we have to, like I said, we got to question. So if there aren't any questions, then I would love to move on to our second half of what we are doing today, which is our EFT, or our emotional freedom technique, our tapping. And like I said, you don't have to know how to do it. All you have to do is follow along with me. Super simple, super easy. Okay? So let us begin. So I want everyone to just go ahead, close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath in. And I want you to tune in, and I want you to think about the level of fear and anxiety that you have right now, just around the whole entire situation of the coronavirus, just the whole thing. And I want you to really pay attention to where that is in your body. Maybe you're feeling it in your heart. Maybe you're feeling it in your back. Maybe you're feeling it in your belly. Maybe you're just feeling really tired right now. Whatever it is for you, honor it. And I actually want you to sit in it. Okay? That's what I want you to do. I want you to sit in it. Okay? Then, for those of you that don't know how to do this, I am going to be as clear as possible, because I really invite you to keep your eyes closed during this process. Okay? So I want you to put your non-dominant hand up in like you're gonna karate chop someone. Okay? I want you to put it up like that. Then I want you to take your dominant hand and I want you to put your pointer finger and your middle finger together like you're doing the scout salute. I want you then to put your put those two fingers just an inch below your pinky bone. Okay? I want you to take a deep breath. Okay? And I want you just to repeat after me as we are lightly tapping on that point, just an inch below your pinky bone. Okay? And we are going to say, there have been times when fear has gotten the best of me. There have been times when I have been afraid of what the future will hold. There have been times when I have been afraid because I don't know what's going to happen next. And I'm afraid I won't be provided for, or I won't have my needs met. Okay, and I want everyone to just take a big deep breath now. Big deep breath. I want you to hold it and then just slowly let it out your mouth. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to tap on the crown of our head. For those of you that don't know where that is, I know it's going to sound silly, but go ahead, stick your thumbs in your ears, put your middle fingers up together on top of your head, and wherever they meet, that's where we're going to tap. Now, you can either tap with 2 hands or you can tap with 1. I would invite you, once again, you can tap with your pointer and middle fingers together and just tapping up on that point, and we're going to say, I am willing to realize that my fear is coming from the future, because I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm afraid, because I don't know, that I won't be supported. I am learning to release those fears to spirit. I am learning that it's not up to me to solve all the problems. My job is to open my mind to divine guidance. I release all the fear, all the anxiety, all the stress that comes along with this coronavirus and with tuning into guidance. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come down to the third eye point. For those of you that don't know where that is, you can either tap right where your eyebrows begin, or you can just tap right there in the middle of your eyebrows. And just repeat after me. We're just going to say, I can receive guidance on what to do, where to go, and what to say to get my needs met. I'm realizing that it's okay to ask for help. I'm realizing that I will be helped. It may not be in the way that I think, but I'll always be helped. Okay, now we're going to come here to the side of the eyes, right there on that bone, the very side of the eye, right there on those temples. We're just going to tap very lightly there. And we're just going to say, right now, my ego is telling me a very scary story. And this story involves lack and scarcity and a lot of fear about the future. I don't like this story. It's really scary, and it's making me go into fear, and it's making me react out of fear instead of responding from love. I am willing to respond from love. I'm willing to let go of all the fear, all the anxiety, and all the distress that is coming my way from this scary story the ego is telling me. I want everyone to stop tapping for a moment. Take a deep breath in through the nose. We're going to hold it. We're going to let it out the mouth very slowly and gently. Okay, now we're going to come here to the cheekbones, right here on the cheekbones. And we're going to begin tapping. And we are going to say, the good thing is that this is just a story. I don't have to believe it 100%. I don't have to believe everything I think about it 100%. Yes, I can be prepared. Yes, I can get prepared. But I do not need to be in fear about it. I do what is in front of me to do, nothing more. Okay, we're going to go underneath the nose, right there on the lip. And we're going to say, I do what is in front of me to do, nothing else. Okay, on the chin. I do what feels peaceful and compelling, whatever brings down my fear and brings up my peace. Okay, now we're going to come down here to the collarbone. Okay, now you can either tap on the sides of the collarbone or you can tap just on the middle of the collarbone. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're just going to continue tapping and we're just going to say, I am willing to let go of all this worry and all this anxiety and all of this nervousness about the future. I know that I don't know what's going to happen. And I am okay with that because I know and I understand that a divine force is always with me, always helping me and guiding me. I just have to ask. Now we're going to go over the heart. Okay, over the heart. And we're going to say, and you can use your higher power. I'm just going to say God. Dear God, I have this story about the coronavirus and how it's going to take everything away from me, how I don't have my needs met, how I just don't know what's going to happen. And that's a really scary story. But I'm realizing that I'm the one writing it. And I'm really tired of writing this scary story. Okay, now we're going to go to the other side of the chest. And we're going to say, it's a really scary story, but I don't have to keep writing it. I can put the pen down. Now we're going to go here to the center of the chest, right there on the sternum. And we're just going to tap there and we're going to say, and once again, I'm going to use the word God. You can use whatever you want as your higher power. Dear God, I'm going to put down the pen of this story. And I'm going to let you pick it up and I'm going to let you write me a new one. I know and I understand that your will, your law is love. And you only want what is going to make me happy and peaceful and joyful. And I want you to write me that story. I want to let go of my agenda. I want to let go of my fear. And the only way to do that is to give it over to you. I want to give it to you. I need to give it to you. So I put down the pen and I'm going to let you write me a brand new story. Okay, I want everyone to take a big deep breath. We're going to hold it and then slowly let it out the mouth. Okay, we're going to come back up here. We're going to tap on the top of the head. Now, what I want you to do, I want you to visualize an altar in front of you. Okay, as we begin to tap, and we're going to say, Dear God, I'm putting my belief in lack, my belief in scarcity, my belief in my own fearful thoughts, I'm putting these on the altar to be altered. Whatever goes on this altar is altered in the presence of love. I don't know what that's going to look like. What I do know is that it will be given back to me pristine and peaceful and completely healed. I'm willing to see a healed perception of this whole situation. Okay, everyone take a big deep breath again. As you let your breath out, just visualize that altar disappearing into light, into joy, into happiness, however you want to see that. Just see it disappearing into the light. Okay? Absolutely beautiful job, guys. So that was our tapping for today. That was our arc of safety. Now, once again, I want to open it up to questions, comments, and concerns about what we have just spoken about, what we have just talked about the arc of safety. Anything that is coming up for you that we have spoken about that is on your mind, that you have questions about. That's why I'm here. That's why I was guided to go live, so that I could be that presence of the alternative. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it, Shirley. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Sheila, that the internet was being a little wonky. I'm sorry. So as I'll just do a quick little review, the arc of truth is in our minds. And how do we stay in that arc of safety? Well, we stay in the arc of safety, one, by remembering the truth of who we are. Who are you? You are part of that divine essence. You are part of the all that is. If you start to find yourself going into these fearful thoughts or finds fearful thoughts crossing your mind, that's okay. Totally all right. But what we have to do is we have to question those thoughts. Remember, you don't have to believe everything that you think. So we question that thought. Okay, where is this fearful thought coming from? Is it coming from the past? Is it coming from the future? And is it true? Do I know it to be true? What are the facts that I have that are saying that it's going to be true? Okay, we question it. We say, okay, we go to the grocery store and we're not seeing milk. Okay, this is my belief in lack. Did God create lack? Once again, my word, doesn't mean you have to use it, but did God create lack? Nope, God did not create lack, therefore it is not real. So we question it. And remember, this is how we question it. You can close your eyes, you can do your eyes open, looking at the thing that is distressing you or disturbing your peace. And once again, I will use my word for my higher power. You can use your word for your higher power. And so I'll just say, God did not create lack. Therefore, it is not real. I ask to see the truth instead of my dream, because that's what it is, my dream of lack. Okay? So I take that deep breath, and then I tell myself the truth. Spirit I am, free of all limits, safe and healed and whole, innocent and provided for in all ways, free to forgive and free to save the world. I ask that the part of my mind that still believes in lack now be healed. Very simple, very easy to do now. And we also then say, okay, do I want to be, after we've forgiven, after we've done that, then we invite peace and we come back into the moment. Now, if you find yourself still in that same situation, that's okay. We have to realize then, we question again, do I want the problem or do I want the solution? What am I more focused on? Am I more focused on the fact that I do not have, or am I going to focus instead on, the beautiful blessings that I might have or could have in that moment? But we have to really realize also when we are inviting that peace, asking for peace, and setting our intention, our goal as peace, that means our intention isn't necessarily to get the milk. It's not to get the eggs. Our goal is peace. Whatever will be peaceful. We have to release our agenda of what we believe is going to be the most peaceful outcome. We don't know, and we have to be okay with that not knowing. That's what being in the present moment is really about. It's about allowing yourself to be guided and knowing that you will be. This is also a practice in trust and in trusting the divine that is always there, because like I read from chapter number 29, section 1, there is no time, no place, no state where God/spirit is absent. The divine is everywhere because the divine is in your mind. That is where your safety is. Your safety is in your mind. And if you believe you are not safe, then you will see a lack of safety. It's just the way that it works. Your eyes do not see. They report back what you believe. So we have to be vigilant and say, okay, and question, what's coming at me right now? What am I seeing right now? This does not mean that you cannot be prepared. This does not mean that you do not, go and buy the things that you need. It does mean that as you go out, you realize that you are the presence of the alternative, that you are guided, and that if your fear rises up, that's okay. I'm willing to give that fear away, because that is what we're not doing. We're not giving that fear away. Instead, we're believing everything that we think, and we are allowing it to bring us down. Bring us down into fear and into worry and into anxiety. Like I said, I completely understand that there are different, what seems to be problems that everyone is facing. But like I read this morning from lesson number 80, Let me recognize my one problem so that it can be solved. The only real problem from a metaphysical standpoint, I am not telling you that, your problem is not real. I'm not saying that it doesn't affect you. But from a metaphysical standpoint, the only problem that you have is the belief that you are separate from your divine source. And that problem has already been solved because it's not even true. We just think that it is. And that's it. But we have to question. We have to realize that, when we are seeing fear, we're seeing the power outside of us. And that's it. And we have to question that. Okay, well, why am I seeing this? Well, I'm seeing it because obviously I believe it. Well, do I want to continue this belief? No, so I have to be willing to forgive myself. And in forgiving myself, I have to be willing to invite peace. Peace means that I am inviting only the good, only the joy, only the happiness. Actually, in A Course in Miracles, in one of the lessons, that's what it says. Peace is characterized by joy. It's not characterized by being withdrawn or trying to be like, oh, I'm so super peaceful. No. To be at peace means you are in joy because you are in your natural state of being. Like, that's what you are. You are a being of love and light. You're not a being of fear. Not at all. Never have been, never could be. So, yeah, that is my talk for tonight, combined with that EFT that we did. Once again, I'll open it up to questions, comments, or concerns about what we have just spoken about, if there are any. If not, then that's totally fine. And I know I just keep on basically just repeating the same information, but that is what I'm doing. I can't believe the margarine your mother was looking for was just sitting there waiting for you in the freezer. I know, amazing. That's how the divine works. Remember, I didn't know it, but it was sitting there for me. You are very welcome. It is my pleasure to be of service. This is what Spirit told me to do. I'm just doing what Spirit told me to do. It said go and speak about this, so that's what I did. And we have to remember also the arc of safety, like I said, is in your mind. So where are you going to have your foundation? Are you going to have the foundation on love, or are you going to have the foundation on fear? Because if you have the foundation on fear, it's going to erode away. It's like building your house on sand. It's going to shift. But if you build your house on love, it's like building it on a flat slab of basalt. It's thick and it's sturdy and it's not going to go anywhere. So where do you want to put the foundation of your ark on? Do you want to put it on the foundation of fear or the foundation of love? And that's what we have to remember as well. It's where we want to put that foundation. And we decide that foundation, we decide it on, okay, do I want to believe that fear is the only thing I am, or do I want to believe that love is the only thing that I am? And that fear is only something that I am authoring, meaning I'm making up, I'm doing. Well, I don't want to build my house on, fears. I want to build my house on something that's real. And love is the only thing that's real. I don't want to build my house on fear because fear shifts and changes like the sand. I want to build it on that basalt rock that's there for me, that's sturdy. I want to build it on love. So, yeah. But like I said, I know I'm repeating a lot of the information and I just keep on kind of putting it out there, but this is what's really important right now. So let's step up our vigilance. Let's step up our questioning. Let's step up forgiving ourselves. Let's step up in inviting peace. Let's step up in coming back to the present moment. And let's step up deciding where we're going to build our house. What thoughts are we going to allow in our minds? Let's really dig into that. So I thank you so much for joining me. I thank you so much for being here. If you feel like you would like to share this broadcast out, you're more than welcome to. And if you didn't catch the whole thing, no worries, because it'll always be here. It'll also be on my YouTube channel, because I always like to upload it there as well, so everyone has an opportunity to watch it. And that way you can go back and you can do the EFT tapping. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. And I send you all of my love. And just remember, the ark of safety lies within your mind. So question, forgive, invite, and or set the goal of peace. Come back to the present moment and build your house on love, not fear.